Hey, everybody. It's about that time again where I've got questions. And this week um we are talking about authenticity, okay? And so a lot of us hear the word. Let me give you a couple of disclaimers before we start. Hi, baby Jesus, how you doing? Um, I apologize for the noise, if there's any noise in the background, but like I said last week, that's just kind of how it rolls when you live in the city, or if you're in the city, you can't control the noise. Hi, Barbie. So I just wanted to talk to you guys tonight about authenticity. Um, I am who I say I am. Are you living your life authentically? Meaning, when you show up, wherever you show up, are you showing up authentically? Are you showing up as the person that you were designed to be in all of your beauty, in all of your mess? Are you showing up as who you are? Over time, I have done work on myself to be able to show up authentically everywhere I go. Um, I tell people all the time that you cannot turn off who you are. You can't turn off your gifts. You can't turn off your that little thing inside of you that makes you you. And so when you go out into the world, who are you? You know, when you listen, I want to say this real early on. Social media will have you messed up. Do you hear me? Don't get caught up on what you see other people, how they're living on social media, putting standards on yourself, um, putting labels and expectations on yourself based on what you see on social media. Many times on social media, people will give you a glimpse of a life, but it's not promised that that is the life that they are living. You feel me? And so when we see things, a lot of us make comments like, oh, well, they're looking like they're doing good, or I wish I was doing this, or I wish I was doing that. Like, you have to do and be who you were created to be. And my question to everybody that's watching, whether you're watching live now or whether you play this video back, my question to you is, are you authentically being who you are? And I'm not talking about sexuality. I'm not talking about your career. I'm not talking about organizations. I am talking about who you are at the core. Elder Kevin Taylor said something to me years ago that I've always taken with me. And what he said to me was, be you, because all the other spots are taken. That one statement changed how I viewed how I show up in the room, how I'm aware of my presence. Be you, because all the other spots are taken. A lot of times, where we come from can have a lot to do with how we show up. Our family, um, upbringing, and the way we were reared and raised can have a lot with how we show up. Are you authentically showing up as who you are? I'm going to keep asking that question because I want you to ask yourself, are you authentically showing up as who you are? You are special. I don't care who you are. I don't care what you have been through in life. I don't care where you are going. You have something that this world needs that only you can bring to it. Whether it is your smile, whether it is your infectious attitude, whether it is your The way that you have the ability to make people laugh, listen, that's who you are. For a very long time, it took me a while to get used to or embrace the fact that, hey, listen, I'm sensitive. People used to make fun of me. People used to criticize me. When things would happen, it would be like, oh, you're being too sensitive. Don't take it personal. Well, listen, this is who I am. I'm a sensitive being. I feel a lot of things that most people don't. And now at this point where I am in my life, I am unapologetic about that. I'm unapologetic about who I am. I'll never apologize for that. If it's too much for you, that is your issue and not mine. I will never dim my light to make or to help anyone, anything, any place shine brighter than me. I'm not willing to do it any longer. I'm not willing to sacrifice who I am in order to make someone else comfortable. I'm not willing to do it anymore. That costs me a lot. I'm a person that I dream big. I have big ideas. You give me a topic and I can think of something, relatively big, for it or whatever. And so I try to do my best to encourage others to show up as who you are. If you are in environments that don't support who you are, that could play a factor. Don't go where you are just tolerated, but go where you are celebrated. Go where you are embraced. Find your soul tribe where you can be exactly who the Creator designed for you to be. I cannot stress that enough. Being authentic out here in this world, in a lot of arenas, is rare. It is rare. And so I want you to know that you are enough. It's okay for you to go out there and be the weird one. Embrace your weirdness. That's who you are. Embrace your kindness. Embrace your sensitivity. Embrace who you are. In specific, in the LGBT community, what I've been noticing here a lot is that there tends to be a criticism for, who you choose to love. Be you. Love who you choose to love. Be confident in you. And the sad part about it is, yes, there will be people who will not feel the same way as you. It's not your problem. How people feel about you is not your problem. Your job is to go out there and to be who you were created to be. You've got everything in you that you need to be the best version of you that you can. Now, if you're not living up to the best version of who you can be, that's a whole nother conversation. However, be who you are. Just be you. Don't try to be anybody else. Don't try to be, a part of things that don't feed your soul. Or, when I was growing up, they always used to say, be a leader, don't be a follower. It takes both. If you know that you're not a leader, don't step into a role that's not you. Every leader needs people who will work with them. I don't like to call them followers. It kind of has a negative stigma attached to it, depending on where you use it. But the logistics, you have to have enough confidence and bravery within yourself to love you enough to step out every single morning that you have an opportunity to do so and be who you were created to be. I cannot stress that enough. We have a lot of people around, today who are not being who they were designed to be. Whether that's because they are, they're not, confident in who they are. Ask yourself, why do you feel the need to hide? What are you hiding for? What gifts right now are you hiding from the world? What gifts are you sitting on because you don't have the confidence to go out there and take the world by storm? What are you sitting on? Because whatever you're sitting on, somebody needs. Somebody is in need of that gift right now. That's how important it is. You know, what you've been through. It took me a long time. Some of the things that I've been through in my life, it took me a very long time to embrace the fact that I had been in certain places. But guess what? What I realized is that there is someone who is going through exactly what I've been through, who may just need a word of encouragement, who may need someone to help them push them forward. If I sit on that, I might have something that somebody else needs. So I want you to understand that being you takes courage. But I promise you, once you get to the point where you are comfortable being who you are and being who you were designed to be, it's going to be like a cakewalk. It's going to be like, why did I wait so long to do this? You know? And so I want you to just, and this week, I want you to dig deep. I want you to reflect and meditate, and think about the things that you are currently sitting on. Ask yourself, when I go into the different arenas in my life, at work, school, my friends, am I being me? Do I have to dumb myself down? Do I have to dim my light when I go in this environment? How does this environment make me feel? Does it feed your soul? Does it feed where you're going in life? Is it still serving you? Because if you can't go in a place and be accepted for who you are, that might not be the environment that you need to be in. And I know for some of us that might be hard to hear, because some of those environments are attached to our families. Some of those environments are attached to our friends. Some of those environments are attached to our workplace. And so it is necessary for you to do inventory on where you are and who you are when you show up. Because guess what? Nobody else can do you like you. You're one of a kind. Even if you're a twin, you are still one of a kind. Nobody can do you like you. And so when you don't show up as who you were designed to be, you do yourself a disservice. Dig deep to find out what are those things. I'm trying to adjust the camera. I know there's a glare. I'm sorry about that. But when you, let me see if this will help. I don't know if that helped or if it made it worse. But when you step into a room, what is it that people feel? What is it that you bring to the table, that only you bring? That when you come in, people say, oh, so-and-so's here. I have a soror who, she gives the best hugs ever. And everybody knows this about her. There's like a line when we see her, because everybody loves her hugs. They give you something. They do something for you. Authentically, when she shows up for as who she is. And so if you can't do that, please let me help you. I'm here for it all, because I want you to feel so good, so confident about yourself when you step into a room, that there is no denying that you know who you are, that you know that you are comfortable in your skin, that you know that no matter what anybody else says about you, you know you. And so being authentic, although a lot of people talk about it, not a lot of people know how to do it. If you have to live your life in secret, you are not being authentic. You're not being, secrets kill, especially visible secrets. Embrace who you are. Those who are meant for you will love and support you just the way you are. And you're worthy of that. You are worthy to be around people who love you just for you, without any pretense. If you know that you have areas that you need to work on, let's get to work. Because it's nobody else's job to build you up but you. Nobody else's job. I get it. You may have been through some things. Life might be really, really hard right now. However, it is your responsibility to get your healing. Your healing is all you. That's all on you. But every morning, some of the things that you can do to get in touch, as Cat Williams says, with your star key player, every morning get up and positive affirmations. Get up and give yourself some affirmations. Tell yourself, I'm beautiful. Tell yourself, I'm worthy. And here's the thing about authenticity. Not every day you're going to feel that way. And even when you don't feel that way, have enough confidence that you can still show up in the room. You can still show up in a meeting with your friends and say, you know what, I'm not having a good day, but I'm here. That's authentic. I'm really going through it and I could use some encouragement. It's being authentic. But when you step into a room and life is falling apart and someone says, well, how are you doing? Oh, I'm great. I'm fine. It's not being authentic. You do yourself a disservice. Because there may be someone in the room, like I said before, who has something that you need in that moment that the universe has set you up to get. And because you are not being authentic, you miss out on it. It's okay to be you. Unfortunately, yesterday, I read a story about a young man who took his life. And this is becoming more frequent. I'm not going to use the word normal because it'll never be normalized to me. However, this young man, his name was, I think it was Maurice Willoughby, but they called him Reese. And he took his life because some type of altercation took place while he was standing on a corner with some young men. He made a confession that he dated trans women. And from there, it took a negative turn where the young men who he was in the presence of just began to say some horrible things to him because he had enough courage and enough bravery in that moment to be authentic. My heart is saddened that the ridicule that he faced after his admission was too much for him. Let me tell you something. There are going to be some hard times when you are authentic. You're going to have to stand in some hard truths that not everybody will understand. It doesn't mean that you don't do it. You have no other option. I mean, you do. But why be someone else? Why not be you? Like, you are dope as fuck. Why not be you? Why not be you? Like, you are powerful. You are worthy. You are enough. You are enough just the way you are. It is not your job to convince people to like you. It is not your job to convince people to love you. What is your job is to go out there every single day and be who you were designed to be. It's so important, especially in the culture and the environment that we live in today. It's so, so, so important. I can't stress that enough. And so, one of the things that I help my clients during my sessions is I have them make a list. Tell me all the dope things about you that as a stranger I don't know. So, if I could give you any homework this week, that would be it. Tell me all the dope things that make up you. What are those quirky, weird things that you do that make you you? You know? What are they? Can you embrace them? Do you feel good about them? And if you don't feel good about them, why? Why? Is it because in your past people have made fun of you? Is it because, it's not something that you're proud of? Ask yourself why. That's all. Ask yourself why. Start digging to get to the root of it. I'm telling you, authenticity it doesn't have to be as rare as it is today, but in some cases it is rare because there's a fear of being judged. There's a fear of not being accepted. And let me just be real. Those fears are real. They are real. The fear of being judged by those people that we love. The fear of not being accepted by the people that we care about the most. It's real. It's one of the reasons why many LGBT people stay in the closet for so long. That they feel like they can't live authentically. Because they'll be judged. Nobody wants to be judged. But here's the thing about life. At some point in time, you're going to be judged. And that's why I say what other people say about you is none of your business. And the sooner that you can embrace that fact, the sooner that you can grow to a place where other people's opinions don't bother you, that freedom that comes along with that will allow you to walk in a room and own it. Authentically walk into a room and own it. Okay? Are you who you say you are? Or are you living a lie? Are you hiding things that would almost make you a different person if people knew? Are you scared? Is it out of fear? But this week, I want this to be the week that you challenge yourself to go out there in your boldness this week and live authentically, live in your truth. You can hide all day long. You can hide as much as you think you are. I promise you, eventually who you are will always come through. Truth, no matter good or bad, will always come through. You tell your truth before anybody else has a chance to tell your truth. I'm not saying that any of this is easy. No, it's a process. Especially if it's not something that you are used to. If you are not used to showing up in the world confidently in your own skin, yeah, this is going to be real awkward for you. Because you're going to feel exposed. You're going to feel like people are looking at you. You're going to feel like, oh my God, they know. So what? So what? They know. They know I like women. So what? They know I don't have any money. So what? They know I don't have a job. So what? Is it who you are? Own and embrace your story. We are all here on a journey. All of us. All of us. And what I know to be true is that there are lessons on your journey that you are supposed to get. Some lessons hurt, Some lessons are embarrassing. Some lessons are scary. But it's all a part of it's a part of you and your journey. I promise you. Walking in your truth, oh man, that is a freedom that nobody can really tell you about until you experience it. When you get to the place in life where you really don't care about what other people think about you, where their opinions don't matter, oh man, that is a freedom that not people, you can't pay for that type of freedom. You can't pay for that type of freedom. I promise you. And so, I challenge you this week to boldly go out there in the world and live your authentic life. And if you don't know what that is, make it your goal to find out. Make it your goal to do the work to discover what that means for you. Not everybody knows, and that's okay. But do your work to find out. Because if you don't, you'll allow the world to tell you who you are. You'll allow the world and other people to tell you who you are and what you like and how you're supposed to be. If it doesn't feel right with your soul, if it doesn't feel right with your spirit, that might not be you. One of the things that I learned about being authentic is learning to trust your gut. Learning to trust what you feel and not doubt yourself. A lot of us have been through a lot of things that have caused us to doubt ourselves. And so we don't know if we are doing the right thing or if we're making the right decision. It gets a little gray for some people. And I get it. I've been there. You know, there are times when I still go through that. As a therapist, I still go through that. I'm human, just like you. I go through shit and bullshit just like you. I also think that's what makes the best therapist. When we too can go through things and be able to help people from a clinical and a therapeutic lens get to the other side to let you know, hey, you'll get through this. It is not surprising to me. I'm always having a conversation with somebody, right? But I was having a conversation with somebody, and we were talking about how the person was saying it amazes them how some of the most popular stars suffer from self-esteem. And I said, I don't. Janet Jackson, Beyonce, they all have talked about, self-esteem issues and not being able to walk in their authority until they grew to that point. It's a process for some of us. We have to grow to that point where we can get up every morning and look in the mirror and say, hey, I love you. Hey, you are dope as fuck. Like, before anybody else has a chance to tell you, you've told yourself 5, 10 times in the mirror before you even left your house. Why? Because you may need that. That's being authentic. I need to tell myself, like, you got this. You're dope. You know you can. Listen, some of the best conversations I have some days are with myself. Like, girl, listen, you got to get it together. Know who you are going in here. Know who you were created to be. You got this. Oh, I get myself all the way together. If I could give you a song, one of the songs that's on my playlist now is by Lizzo. And Lizzo has a song called Soulmate. And I listen to that song every single morning. Why? Because I want to remind myself before I step out into the world, I'm my own best friend. I'm my own best friend. and that I'm worthy of love, and that guess what? Before I can love anybody else, I gotta love myself. And understand that loving yourself is going to look different to each and every person. How you love on you, that is, individual to you. You get to decide how you love on you. Nobody else. You. Okay? I want, for somebody out there, I don't know why this just popped into my head, but I want you to let the shame go. The shame is weighing you down. It's weighing you down. Let the shame go of whatever it is. I don't know if it's something that you've been through. I don't know if it's something that you're going through. I don't know if it's something that's in your past. Let the shame go. Because it's blocking you from being who you were created to be. Whatever it is, dig into that to find the lesson and the blessing in it and keep it moving. Guess what? I got something for you. You made it through. Whatever it was, there's no reason for you to be ashamed about it. It's a part of your journey now. Embrace it. It's okay to talk about it. I was in a group, and I just want to touch on this really, really quickly. But I was in a group, and it's a LGBT group, and they were talking about the whole stud on stud thing. And I keep saying to myself, why is this such a big issue? Why in our own community do we feel the need to criticize and judge people based on who they love? Like, my goodness, do we not get enough of that out in the world that we have to come inside of our community and do that too? Because we aren't fitting into boxes that we have created ourselves? Man-made boxes. I was exposed to a whole group of women who identify as tomboys, and learning about that culture and learning about the trans community. Listen, love who your heart is telling you to love without judgment. Don't allow what other people think of you or think of your love or how and who you love to get in the way. Be authentic about who you are. If you are not financially stable, be authentic. There's no need to post pictures of money that you don't have. And listen, embrace where you are. Embrace who you are. I'm telling you, social media has a lot of people messed up because we think that people are living, one life, and behind closed doors they're living a life totally different. Come on, loves, we got to do better. We have got to do better. There's nobody else more qualified to do you than you. Nobody else more qualified to do you than you. And so this week, I challenge you to walk into your week authentic. Let your hair be what it's going to be, let your makeup be what it's going to be. Do whatever it is that makes you you. Tell a joke. Make somebody smile. Be that silly goofball that you know you are. Just be you. Unapologetically. Just be you. Because there's nobody else more qualified to do it than you. And if you don't do it, guess what? That spot is just left unfilled. It's just simply left unfilled. If you don't get out there and do what you're supposed to do and be who you're supposed to be, that spot is just left unfilled. There's going to be a hole out there in the world. Go fill your hole. And I know that probably didn't sound right. But just go out there and be who you were created to be. Is it going to take a lot of courage? It might. Depending on what you are up against and what you are facing, it might. But just be who you, I'm telling you, nobody can do you like you. And do it unapologetically. You don't have to apologize for who you are, for who you love, for being quirky, for being weird. Go out there and be who you are. Listen, I am convinced that there is somebody out there for everybody. You hear me? Somebody out there. You will find your tribe. Or your tribe will find you. Those will be the people who will embrace you and love you and accept you for who you are. Just the way you are. Why? Because you're enough already. You've got to let go of those old tapes in your head and your mind that are telling you that you're not good enough, that you're not worthy enough, that you got to be like X, Y, and Z, and you got to live up to this, and you got to live up to that. Do your work. Do your work. Do your work. I'll say it one more time, because nobody else can give you this. You feel me? Nobody else can give you this. This is a self job. Self-esteem. You are in charge of your star player. You got to take care of your star player. Okay? So this week, if you have not already, one of the things that you can do is positive affirmations. Speak positively to yourself before anybody else has a chance to speak negatively towards you. Before you leave your house, you should have already told yourself 5-10 good things, about yourself. So that when you come up against somebody out there who may not understand you, who may not have anything good to say, you can remind yourself, I'm fly. I'm fly as fuck. I'm dope. I'm dope because it's only one me. You know? I'm a good friend. I'm a good lover. I'm a good employee. Whatever it is, it is your job. It's not anybody else's job. It's your job. And you can do it. I know some of us have been beat down. I know some of us have been through the ringer. Listen, I keep telling you, I have bad days too. You know? I have days where I'm just like, listen, this is for the birds. But then I have to remind myself, listen, you got this. You're powerful. You're beautiful. You're worthy. You're enough. And then I authentically take my behind on out the house and out into the world and do whatever it is I'm supposed to do. Because I know I got work to do. And like I said before, you have something in you that the world needs. Somebody out there needs your gift. No matter how big or small it is, somebody needs it. And in order for you to be able to effectively give your gift to the world, you got to authentically be you. I know we live in a society where there are a lot of other people we could strive to be. We could. But what better person to be than yourself? Like, really? Like, who else would you rather be? And I'm not talking about for their money or anything like that. Like, Oprah's just a person just like me. Barack Obama is just a person just like me. I don't want to be anybody else but me. I'm just as great. What are you great at? That's what I want you to answer this week. What makes you great? What makes you different? What makes you the one that people call on? What solution do you bring to the table? If you had the courage to be yourself, how could you change the world? I can bring it down. If you had the courage to be yourself, whose life in your inner circle could you change? Or could you add something to? In your community, at your job, at your church, or the mosque, or the Buddhist temple, whose life could you make better today by you just being who you were created to be? Because guess what? That quirky, weird thing that you think, that nobody wants, that could be the one thing that changes somebody's day. That could be the one thing to tell somebody else, dag, if she could do it, like, okay, so can I. Are you who you say you are? Moment of transparency. I'm a work in progress when it comes to dealing with people who don't know how to be authentic. Why? Because I have this, not only the spiritual gifts, but gifts that allow me to see people for who they are. So when you come to me and you're not authentic and you're trying to be something that you're not, or you're trying to be somebody else, my spirit, it senses that. My little spidey senses goes off and it bothers me. Like, who are you really trying to fool here? Just be you. I want to love you for you. I want to, befriend, or just be you. Don't be who you think I want you to be. Don't be who you think, so just be you. I'm telling you, when you are you, you give the right people who are supposed to be in your life the opportunity to find you. But if you are hiding behind a mask, if you are hiding behind anything, defensiveness, addictions, social media, the computer, if you're hiding behind these things, how is your tribe going to find you? How can you find you if you're hiding? You can't find yourself. And so it is important, especially when you are meeting new people, that that we talk about the whole representative. The whole representative theory comes from the fact that you are not showing up in your authenticity when you show up. Because if that was the case, when you show up, people gonna know, listen, either they're gonna like it or they're not. And if they don't, guess what? It's none of your business. It's none of your business. Okay? Come on. It's just not something that you should waste your time taking on. Is how others feel about you. That is none of your business. How do you feel about yourself? Okay? I challenge you this week as I'm getting ready to close. One, if you have not already, or if you don't, start making out some affirmations. Positive affirmations just around who you are. Self-centered. Listen here. You have permission to do something that is self-centered. Start speaking over yourself. What are you telling yourself every day when you wake up? How do you love on you? If you can't love you, how do you expect somebody else to love you? Like, that's, it's cliche, but it's true. You can't give anybody anything that you don't already have. It is impossible for you to do that. But a lot of us are out here trying it every single day. Just be you. Be confident in who you are. You can't be anybody else, so why not? So, what I want you to do is come up with 10 affirmations. And every morning, before you step out of your house, I want you to get in the mirror and I want you to repeat those affirmations to yourself. 10 affirmations. All about you and be authentic. Be real. Be real with yourself. 10 affirmations, okay? If you can, go listen to Lizzo's Soulmate. Another song that will help you as you listen to those affirmations. Put that song on as you walk out your door or to get in your car or to go to work. I promise you, by the time you get there, honey, you're going to feel totally different. Okay? I love Lizzo. Authentically who she is. Do you hear me? She embraces who she is no matter where she goes. Yes, I'm a thick girl. Yes, I'm a black thick girl. Yes, I'm a black thick girl who plays the flute. Holla at me. If you don't like me, you can kiss my big black butt. Yep, I'm going to get on the BET stage in my thong and twerk my song. Authentic. Be who you were designed to be. Don't let anybody tell you that you're not good enough. Don't let anybody tell you that you're not worthy. You got to know for yourself. You hear me? Know for yourself. So this week, I want you to walk boldly into your world, into your job, into wherever it is that you go, but do it authentically. And I promise you, when you see it, other people will see it. Okay? Know that I love you, and I thank you guys for joining me again this week for I've Got Questions. Now listen, I want to let you in on a couple of things. The Giving Tree Sanctuary now has a YouTube channel. Yay! And so I will be posting it's just a Giving Tree Center. Try to be consistent on YouTube. And if you happen to miss one of the IG lives on Sunday, they now will be posted on our YouTube channel. So you can go over to YouTube and remember to subscribe and hit the little bell button so you'll know when new videos are available. And on the YouTube channel, I might not wait until Sundays for the I Got Questions. There may be other things that I post on there. So I want you all to stay connected to me. Listen, the Giving Tree Center is on the move. Y'all hear me? We got some good things coming. I am so excited. I am so excited. I am so excited. Okay? And for those of you who know me personally, you know that I sometimes have issues with showing my excitement. But like I said before, I too am a work in progress, and I am going to embrace this. Why? Because I'm worthy of it. Why? Because I deserve it. Why? Because I'm excited. Okay? I am living out my dream, and that makes me happy. I am authentically out here doing what I know that God has created me to do, and that makes my heart happy. I don't care who doesn't like it. I don't care if I do these videos every week and nobody comes. I don't care. I'm doing what I was created to be. I'm doing what I was designed to be. And guess what? When I get on here with y'all, I'm not trying to be nobody. It's one of the reasons why I see, I see a lot of people do these IG lives. I'm not trying to be like anybody else. I'm new to this, and some of this is just, trial and error for me. I have to figure it out as I go, but I'm telling you, I'm excited, and I want you to be excited too. So go over to YouTube and type in The Giving Tree Sanctuary and subscribe to our page and hit the little bell button so that you will get a notification when there are new videos uploaded, because we can get it popping. I'm telling you, they keep saying it's hot girl summer. Baby, listen, this weekend may go into healing girl fall, okay? Healing summer, healing fall. We're trying to heal. I want what my intention with all of this is, I want to help people heal. There's so many broken people out here in the world, and what happens is that we connect with each other, and you bring your brokenness to the table, and when you don't do your work, then you bring all of those issues in the bags, and I'm not talking about in just relationships. I'm talking about in friendships. I'm talking about at your job. I am talking about everywhere you show up. So we're going to be doing some work. I love you guys. I love you guys for watching. Join me next Sunday. It's Pride in Atlanta. And so hopefully we're going to have a special show next week. We're going to see what we can work out for that for next Sunday. However, like I said, if you miss it and you want to go back and look at it again, just go over to the YouTube channel. That's where all of the videos will be saved. Unfortunately, I think I've lost like the first 2 weeks that I did it. It's okay though. But go on over and subscribe. Tell a friend, bring a friend. Let's talk about some things. If you have questions on something, you can always email us at thegivingtreecenter@gmail.com. If you're interested in therapy services, group facilitations for retreats and conferences, tours, empowerment speeches, all of that, you can contact me at the Giving Tree Sanctuary, the Giving Tree Center, at gmail.com, and let's make it happen, okay? I love you all, and create a great week for yourself, okay? Bye. Have a great week.